themselves clear of the drop zone, but can they maintain that momentum against a Chippa United side who are finally starting to find their form on the road this season? And with that, a very warm welcome to the Kings Olatini Stadium in Umlazi on what is a rather grey and gloomy evening here, where the rain hasn't been falling particularly hard, but there has been an almost constant drizzle. As we bring you the final Betway Premiership offering on what has been a bumper Saturday in South Africa's top flight. Results of significance for the two sides in action here this evening. Magesi's 1-0 win over SuperSport United earlier today saw the Limpopo side move level on 17 points with Richards Bay, although they remain behind them on goal difference. What it also means is that with a win here this evening, that could take the Natal Rich Boys above Cavendine's men on goal difference. In that scenario, they would also move within 1 point of today's visitors, Chippa United. Meanwhile, some other really significant results. A TS Galaxy beating Le Mans for Golden Arrows 2-0, so they can go level on points with Arrows here tonight if they win. That's Richards Bay. And then, of course, the big shock result of the weekend, Marumo Gallants beating Orlando Pirates in the Free State. So is another team that have jumped above today's hosts. Let's look at the starting lineups for the two teams. The two changes for the Natal Rich Boys. Sipho Mabua was injured in training this week, so Nkosikona Ndaba is restored to the lineup at his 12th start of the season. Tlonelo Bomelo has stood in admirably for the suspended Yanela Mputuma, who serves a third game of his ban today, but Bomelo is on the bench today, and the veteran Alisi Matupu makes the first start of the season following his arrival from Royal AM. He has come off the bench in the last couple of games. It'll be interesting to see how he does as Brian Mate runs us through the formations.
You have a Richards Bay team that is led by Simpiwe Mcineka. Yes, there's also Takusani Mtetwa, who rules in that midfield. It's Kolisi Matupu, who will rely on Figueiredo to link up with him. It's an attack-minded team, but when you actually look at a Thabo September team in Chippa United, there is Baloni, there is Sergio Camis, who pulls the string. Bienvenu is always the point of reference for them, and they're looking forward to having the man that leads the defense in Tabang Molava in defense.
So three changes for Chippa United. A couple of them are forced. We have at right back, Boy in for Sian. Malingwane replaces Ndlovu, who is injured at the moment. Craig Martin is also out with an issue as a knee injury. Ronaldo Marman is mercifully finally fit enough to start, so that's a natural replacement. He comes in, Papama Jungwana drops to the bench, and Spelo Baloni is in for him to complete that trio of changes for the visitors.
It's that experience that you need of Baloni. It is Sergio Camis' experience as well, but it's that man that leads that front line that they are going to need all the time. It's Bienvenu, but he will rely on the likes of Baloni. There's Philander as well on the left-hand side to supply him. They've got to be at their best. The conditions perfect for football in the evening.
So Thabo September, I guess, has been slowly working on getting the mindset right when they travel. They've seemingly started to fix their woes on the road, at least on recent evidence. They have 2 wins in their last 3 away games, having started the season by picking up 1 point from their first 5 away games. As we introduce you to our match officials, Similele Mabuto, man from the Western Cape, is in charge. He'll be assisted by Tamaga Sibati and Kambusi Razvumisani. So Richards Bay fans are enjoying the recent run of their team. They're unbeaten in 4. The Rich Boys' chance to go 5 without defeat for the first time since their maiden season, but they do come up against a Chippa United outfit that are eager to bounce back from a defeat to Skukune, and they've had a long time where they've been left smarting over that particular result, which came last weekend. As we get underway here, Richards Bay up against, I guess the side you could say a bogey team. Only against Mamelodi Sundowns have the Natal Rich Boys had poorer fortunes than when they're facing Chippa. Since they ascended to the top flight, they are winless in 5 league matches. They have lost their last 4 meetings with Chippa United on the spin. So the men from the Eastern Cape have absolutely dominated this tie. Since, of course, these sides first met, which was actually in the Nedbank Cup, whilst Richards Bay were still a first division team. So they get upfield early, when he's come off the bench, which has been 4 times this season under Coach Thabo September. He has been used in an attacking role, but more than capable of playing at right back, where he did feature for Baraka and for SuperSport United's reserves under Thabo September, so he knows he's capable. Such a contrast between him and Sian Ndlovu, just in terms of the heights of the 2 recently deployed right backs at the Eastern Cape outfit. This man has been good recently. Watlame, he delivers it in towards the back post. Scored a opening goal against Stellenbosch on the road last Friday. Did Tata Motlame, his 2nd of the season. It's the fastest goal that Richards Bay have scored in the league this season. In fact, it's the fastest goal they've ever scored in the top flight. About a minute and a half into that game, which they eventually drew 1-1. Second corner, competently dealt with from the visitors' perspective, and they get a free kick.
As I had injury, seems to be okay.
Yep. Forming a nice partnership with Tabo Makele is Tabang Mulawa, who will turn 25 in a fortnight's time. 2nd season with Chippa United since joining from All Stars, for a man who has picked himself up off the turf and good to go once again. Poor pass and well cut out. Now can they do something from this? The visitors have recovered.
Both coaches, common threat, of course, they want some consistency in terms of the performance. Consistency comes with the details of the game that you've got to get right. Defensively, of course, being ruthless at times. There are certain games where you've got to be street savvy. At Chippa United, they've got a point of reference in Binveni. In Richards Bay, there is Matupu that leads the front line.
Now for Matupu, last start came in February of last year, so over a year ago. That was in Royal AM's 0-0 draw with Kaiser Chiefs. He started the season, of course, with the Royal AM, but has since made his way over to Richards Bay. Sub-appearances against Bulelani City in that victory, and against Stellenbosch most recently, as battles for it there. And was difficult for Cometa to deal with, and Philander's stolen it. Now Sergio Camis launching it wide. From his now central role, a bit easier for Sergio Camis to get over to any long throw that's there to take, and not just those on the right-hand side, as was the case when he was operating as a right full-back.
He's showing his versatility, left back, and then plays in the midfield.
Stanley Nwabali has missed just one game this season. That was in January, that 2-2 draw with Marumo Gallants. Powerful presence in between the sticks. Eventually losing out, and Richards Bay all the way back to Salim Magula. He's kept 5 of the 7 clean sheets that Richards Bay have managed this season. He's made 13 saves over the course of this campaign as Magula.
Well, the best asset for both teams is the goalkeeping department in terms of their physical presence and height as well.
Purposeful pass played by Ronaldo Marman at Evenga is flagged for offside.
Yeah, definitely offside, told off too early. The man that launched his career, of course, against the team that lost this evening, Kevin Hunt, played for Super Sport. He scored his goal against Orlando Pirates, his first goal. And he has since moved on to Chippa.
Marman lays it off cleverly. They're looking for the danger man, Kwayiba, well cut out by Neka. Now the captain has launched it long. Makmupu chasing. It forces Nwabali to venture out of his 18-yard area to clear.
Can play as a centre back, here's the ball, he's the head.
Tetra doing the cleaning up, finding Moses Mtembu, who goes down under the challenge. So the two younger men in that midfield trio given a lot of license to be positive because of the insurance policy they have just behind them in the form of Tlakusani Mtetwa. So the creativity of Mtembu Komete is allowed to flourish. Neka again launches it long. Makmupu applying the pressure. Floated forward by Nwabali. Almost successfully controlled. Kwayiba just took his eye off it for a moment. Here's Magula. Should he keep another clean sheet here tonight, Magula will be his 25th for Richards Bay in the top flight. A man who has been in goal for 24 of the 28 clean sheets that Richards Bay have managed since arriving in the top flight in 2022.
He's got presence, very vocal in terms of organizing that defense. Of course, there's Chippa and Neka, and he's sharing the responsibility in terms of organizing that defense.
There's Kizile Ngaba going down under the challenge from Philander as Richards Bay. Normal service resumes from their point of view at that long ball forward from Neka once again. Now Chippa United searching for options in field with Cummings. Kwayiba. Half a dozen goals for him this season. He's already eclipsed his tally from the previous campaign when he managed 4. Aba keeping it alive. He'll celebrate his 26th birthday on Monday, will Fizile Aba. There he is in your shot. Soon to be birthday boy, former Tungati man. Well won. An opportunity could present itself here, but the ball just goes skidding away from Mtlame.
Looking at the time, well, teams haven't yet settled. They haven't built up some rhythm. It's been a little bit patchy, erratic in certain areas.
To spread the play. 22-year-old Ndaba intervenes. Now Gumede asking a lot of his left fullback. Seized upon by Cummings. A lovely ball out wide to find Philander. They showed too much of it to Ndaba.
Hasn't been their strength, Richards Bay, to maneuver their way out of defensive situations in terms of building from the back. A lot of times they're quicker to get it into the midfield.
Well, about a couple of minutes to go until we hit the quarter-hour mark. Richards Bay are one of only 2 teams this season, along with Polokwane City, who are yet to concede inside the opening 15 minutes, quite remarkably. Especially considering the kind of start that they made to this particular campaign. But unless something were to happen in the next little while, and that will continue to be the case.
It's interesting you're saying that, because one of their strengths in terms of studying games has been, let's focus on defense, try and get it right, and once they get bypassed and concede, it sort of crumbles a little bit.
Chippa looking for a way forward. Side that had their first away win of the season, the beginning of last month. 4-1 win over Magesi in that game that was played over 2 days, as they get a good ball in here. Evenga arriving late. Balon. Good pick out. Finds Marman. His cross repelled by Mtaneka. Marman on it again. Kwaiba has great strength. Did tremendously well to hang on to that, did Baloni. Evenga. Oh, looking for the setup. Kwaiba can't latch on to it. Now Marman. Ball with Gumede, looking for an outlet. Mtlame receives and returns it to him. Option in the midfield in the form of Mtembu. Aba. Oh. attempting to drill that across fields and did not quite go to plan.
Now the trick is that when you get the ball and you want to switch it, if you play it that hard and low, you're inviting anyone to intercept it if you want to switch it onto the far side. There's not too much space. There's flatter in that midfield. Bit risky.
Kwaiba, perpetrator of that foul, picked up by first assistant. Well, Richards Bay have once again survived that opening 15-minute period without conceding. Here's Mfuneka. Ndaba. It's the return from Gumede. Making good progress down there left-hand side. And Tatwa spreads it expertly. Figueiredo! Oh, he's forced a great save here out of Nigeria's #1.
The whole mix in terms of switching the ball, the control, decision-making, technique, everything ever so right. Good technique, full laces. Excellent goalkeeping in the end by that man, Mawani.
Figueiredo seeking his second league goal of the season, coming ever so close there. Two men who have been really good over this period of success for Richards Bay, combining Tlakusani Mtetwa, Justice Figueiredo. Both individuals that their coach pinpointed in a little chat I had prior to the match. Now from the corner, Wabali gets gloves on that. Motlame. Oh, wasteful.
A little bit disappointed with that. He does the speed work in terms of cancelling out the opponent on the left-hand side. It's the end product that matters most and not his best.
Finally starting to realize the potential that many had identified years ago. Of course, when you come from good stock, when your father is Buccaneers' leading scorer in the PSL era, a lot of expectations on you. Clipped over the top. Chippa United do well to get it clear. Just can't make anything more of it. They did win their last away game, Chippa United, 2-0 over Cape Town City. So they have an opportunity to win successive away games for the first time since the very beginning of last season, in fact, when they happened to get a victory over Cape Town Spurs and then Richards Bay. Yes, Figueiredo does have great pace, just can't burst past Modise this time. Also potential tonight for Chippa United to keep successive clean sheets on the road, something they haven't done since the very beginning of last season. But Richards Bay probing at the moment. Thrundaba continues on, chops back inside, looking for service. Well, if they had Yanela Mbutuma available to them, then the suspicion would be that they'd be crossing a little bit more regularly rather than trying to work the ball in. So dangerous Mbutuma has been in the air. His numbers in terms of aerial duels, etc., have been very good, but he's serving the third game of a suspension, which might surprise some because we are used to suspensions being 1 or 2 games, but second red card of the season. That's came for him against Marumo Gallants in that victory, which is why he sits out for a third match in succession. He's in the stands today, somewhere alongside Samilan Sundwana, another attacking player who's expected back from injury soon. That's nicely done. still looking to be a little too intricate, Richards Bay. Let me give you a little bit of insight, Brian. They've this season had the 7th most touches in the box, but the shots they've managed, which are just above 50, is the 3rd fewest in the league. Starts to paint a picture about what we're seeing currently.
I'm looking at a situation where they have a Matupu. They need to try and find ways of engaging him. And for the first time, I think they have a point of reference in him. If you have a Tundwana who comes more deeper on the left-hand side, of course he relies on wanting to take shots outside the box, but whereas Matupu is more central, which gives them more options.
It's looking decent. Wabali there to snuff out the danger. A great sliding intervention. Chippa United been under pressure, and whilst that momentarily alleviates it, it's straight back with Richards Bay. The ball played to Kwaiba, who had quite clearly run himself offside. Chippa United, apart from a few brief moments, just don't appear really to have hit their stride yet.
No, they haven't. I mean, if you've listened to the pre-match interview with Coach September, where he says they enjoy imposing the game on their opponents and passing the ball, they haven't done that. And credit has got to go to Richards Bay. And I think Mr. Gabriel was talking about imposing their style as well to the opponents. And so far, so good in terms of Richards Bay going forward. They're winning the battles in the midfield.
Even as a man nudged off the ball here. There's the Eswatini international Justice Figueiredo. Can't find a ball through. Ronald Marman now for the visitors. Kwaiba. Closely watched by Mneka. Gets it to Marman. And Baloni to Kamis. This is Makele. Kwaiba riding the challenge. Return ball. Running away from Chippa United's top scorer. Man who turned 25 just 2 weeks ago. Sinapolo Kwaiba. Mneka spent his entire pro career here at Richards Bay, helped promote them. Oh, Salim Magula with a big mistake. Kwaiba looks at the very least to hit the target. Did look as though it was heading on goal. Salim Magula makes amends for his mistake moments before.
I thought they were just too casual. And he saved himself the blushes in terms of wanting to chip the ball, and he had to make a save, and he does well. Concedes a corner, Magula. Huge relief for the captain as well.
Yeah.
Huge relief to Mtsireka. They know that he's going to save the blushes because they didn't look convincing at all.
That's the 60th shot on target they faced this season as Modise swings it in from the corner. It's actually the 4th fewest. It's one of the areas that are underrated from a Richards Bay perspective. Goalkeeper doesn't have to deal with an awful lot on target. Now Richards Bay with an opportunity to capitalize on a mistake. Oh, the woodwork has bailed the visitors out with Wabali stranded.
Talk about punishing mistakes. They almost did that. What has happened to him? He comes out and he's trying to backpedal, and look at the distance. He wasn't quick enough. Save the blushes. Just bailed out by that upright.
Close.
So close.
Close from Gumede.
They were ready to celebrate.
Yeah. Still looking for his first goal of the season is Gumede, although he's provided a couple of assists already. These two sides first met back in 2021 Nedbank Cup quarter-final, which Chippa United won 2-1, and in before their 5 top-flight games, they were also involved in a couple of playoff matches at the end of the 2020-2021 season, where it was just Richards Bay and Chippa United in the playoffs because Royal AM refused to honour the fixtures, believing that they had won the title and not Skukuni United. So Chippa United with a 2-1 win and a 1-1 draw was all that was necessary to save them from the drop, having finished 15th that season. Now another mistake that ends up at the feet of Mwabali, who thumps it clear. He's ridden that challenge brilliantly, has Justice Figueiredo, and put in a good cross. Acrobatic attempt comes to nothing. But still the chance is on, works the space, scuffed effort that had all the pace taken off it by deflection.
I like the approach, Richards Bay. Very assertive in terms of the approach. They're playing at home, they're dominating situation, they're keeping the ball much more longer in their opponent's half. The box entries have been promising. The posture has been good as well in terms of attempts at goal. Chippa are yet to build a rhythm, and we haven't seen that. They look a little bit disjointed.
Kwaiba does really well, and Velanda pounced on the loose ball but then couldn't link up with Marman, and Gumede has it, and still lovely pass, just not maybe aware of his surroundings. Was Mohlame.
I think for me, it's all about decision making before the ball gets to you, because you've got to be aware of what's happening around you. It could have been a nice little 1-2 with Matupu.
There's Keegan Allen who's ventured forward. Oh. Perhaps was trying to track back at that point and not continue to involve himself.
He was thinking defensively.
Yeah.
You look at the territory where he was, that's not the way nobody finds him there.
Keegan Allen has been so important for Richards Bay this season. He's started more games than anyone in the team.
I think the nicer part about him is that wherever he has played, he's been a regular. He's been in the starting lineup. You can talk about Swallows, he's been in the starting lineup. You talk about Tax, where he's been that consistent performer.
Well, it's precisely why he made the move to leave Mamelodi Sundowns, where he had been a very promising prospect, because he wanted as much game time as possible to develop himself. And that's precisely what he has got at all the different clubs that he's been at. Maybe not so much the spell at Supersport, definitely at Swallows and Tucks. Here at Richards Bay in particular.
I think they see more game time here.
Yeah. And his numbers have been good this season, Keegan Allen.
He's also an option in terms of set pieces, corners. He gives you that option, possibilities of a goal every time he goes for those corners. Bienvenu, I'm sure what he's saying is that you need to give me more supply. I haven't been able to find him. Bienvenu.
Ronnie Gabriel pondering his next move. Enjoying the current streak that his side are on, beaten in last 4 league matches, 2 wins, 2 draws. Haven't lost a league match since the middle of January. They went down 2-1 away to Cape Town City. Of course, in the mix there, also a cup defeat to Orlando Pirates, who were just absolutely rampant on that day. Opportunity for Richards Bay to go 5 league games without losing for the first time since their maiden season when they started terrifically. They put together a 9-game unbeaten streak, 5 wins. That was in the first half of their campaign, which was very impressive. That was before teams had really figured them out, and a gigantic capitulation the second part of that season where they almost became relegation threatened. Not the most difficult ball to deal with. Kwaiba did quite admirably to get it clear.
He's not going to be happy in September in terms of the application of his players, in terms of usage of the ball. They don't own it that much. They tend to give it away quite cheaply. So far, there's nothing that he can be impressed with.
Nothing wrong with that challenge, according to our referee. And here's Kwaiba taking it forward with Philando, who swapped flanks. So, whoops, and a great ball does Giovanni Philanda. And it was Sergio Camis who came steaming in to lift that over the top via his head.
They don't come any better than that. Pinpoint, decisive, good pace to it. He gets into a good position, but his technique, not the best at all. Camis, of course. He seems to be embarrassed with that situation.
Yeah.
Under no pressure at all. There should be question marks, of course, from the Richard Bay side in terms of their marking. I think that ball, they could have cut it out somehow in terms of the aerial presence they had there. Pineka.
Yeah, it went over the head of the captain, and Camis had snuck in front of Keegan Allen. And Keegan Allen is very, very good in the air. Second in terms of aerial duels won this season, behind only the big lad from TS Galaxy, the youngster Kulumani Ndumane, who has won the most aerial duels of any player. But Sergio Camis will be hoping that he can profit from any other opportunity he might get. Never scored a top flight goal before in his career, as a couple in the first division for All Stars. A strong run from Modise. We haven't seen all too much of him getting on the front foot, although he is very capable and one of the best crossers in the league. So, free kick in a promising position after this foul on Camis. He turned 27 last month. What he says, ball in. Seemed like Keegan Allen was impeded in his attempts to clear. A sandwich in between away wins over Magesi and Cape Town City was a defeat to TS Galaxy on the road for Chippa United, but we know up until recent times how well TS Galaxy had been doing, and it seems like they've righted the ship as of today's game against Arrows. But with that being said, still an impressive away form in recent times for Chippa United. 2 wins from their last 3 on the road. Yes, Kwaiba. It was this man who got the brace to win them their last away game against Cape Town City.
Give him the ball. When he gets it deeper from the midfield, causes problems, good skill. More of a forward thinker in terms of his approach. Good skill. Once he's in position, difficult to dispossess. He takes illegal means. This man, the captain, still puts them under pressure. When last did you see one of those? Apart from Mukwena, we know he can save those kind of ones. I can't remember who else has come up with bullet shots.
Gabadine Mahango a couple times last season, but he was the only person to hit 2 direct free kicks. Prior to that was Mokwena, like 3 seasons ago, who got more than 1 direct free kick goal. It's fairly rare in the Betway Premiership.
Did you say Gabadine Mahango?
Yeah, 2 for Solos last year. Dlamini this season. Kabila Dlamini for Pirates.
The Kappa that was fired earlier on.
Oh yeah, we're not talking about today's result, but
we have to, because that's like the exciting times.
You were asking about direct free kicks. Kabila Dlamini against this very same team in blue today. Let's see. Can they muster? Do have very good free kick takers in Ronaldo Marman, who's making his first start today. Oh, he gives that a lot.
You know, there was a time where, when it comes to set pieces, I can tell you, let me tell you a little bit of a secret. Sometimes teams would aim for one player that will stand on that wall. They play straight onto your face. The next time the ball comes through, you're going to duck. So that's part of the trick. And a couple of that were good.
A man who used to play for Chippa United used to bang them. I'm talking about Milani Manzini. Yeah, that style of free kick.
Power.
What do you say? Oh, that's clever. And that required fingertips to touch it over. Salim Magula.
Clever, delicate touch, slicks in. Look at that. Takes a bit of deflections, I think. Let's have a look at it once more. Yeah, it takes a few deflections.
So, corner take 2. Slightly different delivery this time. Still not away. Magula gets something on that. Play on, says the referee. Richards Bay have an outlet. Takes it with him, does Gomez. And then slips at a crucial moment. Here comes Justice Figueiredo, though. He's beaten to the ball and in the end commits the foul on Kamis.
He's got that type of experience. Just forced a foul out of the opponent. Thus regaining possession.
Bay enjoying a good spell at home of late unbeaten their last 3 home games since Mamelodi Sundowns beat them 2-0 here in what was their final game of 2024. They've won 2 of those 3 in their unbeaten streak. They have a chance to win 3 successive home games if they get victory here today. That's cross not good enough. It will be the first time they've won 3 successive home games since the final 4 home games of last season when they put together that incredible streak under Fusumusi Vilakazi, who this week departed AmaZulu. AmaZulu will play Cape Town City tomorrow for the first time without the Zwane's sole head coach. Tlakusani Mthethwa scrapes it clear. Manuwane with the touch was a crucial one. Pinged forward where Keegan Allen wins it well.
Had to go and help out in defense. Bienvenue, at his best qualities, committed a foul.
Okay, they get forward in numbers here. Chippa United do just about enough. Conditions deteriorating as we head towards the interval. Marman clips it forward. Keegan Allen wins it. Tim. Figueiredo's overcooked his pass. He's seen a lot of it on the flanks at a man who has seen precious little of the ball, Alisi Makpupu.
That's a bit of a problem, and I think that can be frustrating for a striker, that you have a Figueiredo who operates on the right-hand side. They're still struggling to find him.
Fernando rising highest there to win it. Neka, not the best clearance from him, but been able to recover possession. Mutlame. Figueiredo will burst onto this. Can they profit? Oh, wow. Well, a lot of discontent around this venue because everyone watching from the stands believed that the hosts were about to be awarded a penalty kick.
I think he knows that he himself. I'm looking at it out. Listen, we've got to have a look at it again. But the fact that the referee did not hesitate, he was much more nearer to the action. Figueiredo, it was a good decision to try and cut it because defenders are panicking at the time. But he's smiling, he's not complaining, because perhaps when we look at it again, we'll try to realize that the referee made a good decision. Look at him here, cuts inside. Was he touched? No, he wasn't touched.
Nope.
It wasn't touched. There's no even intention to. He delayed himself.
No, and Wabali makes a big save. So in the closing moments here, they'll have a corner kick. Justice served, though, moments before, just in terms of correctly ruling that was a dive and not a penalty. It's Keegan Allen, of all people, that comes bursting forward here to launch a shot at goal for Richards Bay. Looking to add to the one that he has this season already.
Put some good power, good technique. Sustained pressure. Oh yeah, Richards Bay.
Chippa get it away. About to enter into 2 additional minutes as Neka fails to sort his feet out, and Chippa United look long. Over the top here for Kwaiba. Magula comes out, and it is Marman who tries to score from distance. How many times have we seen that already in this match? Crazy.
Well, it says something about the players' awareness. It's just maybe the execution, but that is the sort of drama that we do with the high four. And the goalkeeper gets the center stage. Long ball played there, always tricky. The conditions are always tough. Comes out, Magula, he knows he's got pressure. Bails out by his teammates. Nice little chip.
Yeah. Very delicate chip executed there by Benvenuto.
Good cover. That's
But-
what happens. When the
yeah.
goalkeeper comes out, you always have to have two or one of your teammates to go cover. And he had that cover.
Corner towards the back post. Magula has it in his clutches. I think Ronaldo Marman, with that effort from distance, maybe just didn't take the time to look up as Figueiredo steers it across field with the outside of his foot. In comes the ball from Gumede. Trying to make something happen in these closing moments. Tlakusani Mthethwa falls to the edge of the area. The Figueiredo, his setup, and then that has skewed horribly wide.
I like the energy levels in the last 15 minutes for both sides. There have been that sense of urgency. Maybe the rain as well has helped in terms of energizing the players to take more risks. And we've seen a couple of long-range shots, which has been promising on both sides.
Well, the late game to close out Saturday's Betway Premiership action is serving up a fair amount of drama here. Even though we haven't seen a goal yet, we have seen chance upon chance, especially in these closing stages. There's several players around the park who have gone close, and I must say, thoroughly entertaining 45 minutes as the rain begins to drill down now at the Kings Oluwatini Stadium. Brian Mate, I'm sure you've enjoyed it.
Well, I've enjoyed it. I mean, I've said that the last 15 or 20 minutes of the game has been end-to-end stuff with possibilities of a goal on either side.
So Richards Bay have never previously beaten Chippa United at the break. It is level, goalless. Welcome back to the Kings Wellatini Stadium, where for the first time a league meeting between Richards Bay and Chippa United has gone into the break goalless. There have always been first half goals scored in the 5 previous top flight meetings between these two sides, but that is not the case today. In fact, this has characteristically been a fairly high scoring match, with the exception being the meeting earlier this season that came in September, where an own goal from Kutumela just before the break was ultimately what separated these two sides. Chippa United winning that one 1-0, but there have been some very hefty scorelines in the past, as we now confirm for you the opening change that will be made here by Chippa United. And Bienvenu Evenga, who had the fewest touches for Chippa in the first half, is the man who makes way. And on in his place comes Azola Matros. Now we also have the introduction here of young Zikali for Richards Bay. And you have to wonder to yourself whether there's some kind of injury issue for Tulani Gumede, because he was far and away the busiest player in the first half across both teams. He had the most touches of any other player. I say busy because he won possession the most of any of the 22 out there. He also lost possession the most, so maybe they just wanted someone to come on and perhaps be a little tidier, but that one a little more baffling of the two changes, as Keegan Allen really looked to come all the way through Ronaldo Marman there.
He can be bully when he wants to. He can be elegant when he wants to, aggressive at the moment. So that's him. Potential goal scorer as well when it comes to set pieces. You just mentioned an interesting stats in terms of goals that both teams are capable of scoring.
Yeah.
But at this stage is within our rights, I guess, because of the stats to say we can't demand something out of this because we know what both teams are capable of doing.
Well, there have been 18 goals scored in the previous 5 league matches between these two sides, as Keegan Allen lets that one run away from him, but a ball regained by Richards Bay. Zikali, first real involvement for the teenager. It was the match winner back in mid-December in that 1-0 victory against Lamontville Golden Arrows. Brilliant looping effort that he scored there as Chippa United seek to make a fast start. It's to run through some of the score lines. I mean, last season there were 6 goals scored across their 2 meetings, a 3-0 win for Chippa United and a 2-1 victory. 2-1 victory, in fact, playing away where they came from behind after Sanele Barnes had opened the scoring. It was a brace from Namibian Elmo Kambindu, who's now with AmaZulu. At their first ever meeting, the only time that Richards Bay have ever got something from a game against Chippa United, a 3-all draw. A match in which Chippa had taken a 2-0 lead. Tsundwana and an own goal from now Mamelodi Sundowns man Zuko Tunyelwa. Ronaldo Marman clawed one back, and Tsundwana put them 2 up again. Then Pumbudzai and Etiosa Igedaro on the score sheet to make it 3-all. So there have been some very exciting matches between these two sides, and there have been several instances, or 2 at least, 3 in fact, where Chippa have come from behind to gain something against Richards Bay.
Well, the distinguished guests, of course, who are in the studio in Bongani Kumale will be saying they should have defended better in those set of situation. And you can imagine Stiga saying, no, Mebru, it is the attack-minded approach that you've got to approach you've got to have in terms of scoring goals. Distinguished gentleman of the game.
Paloni down under the challenge of the 19-year-olds. His first season in professional football.
We should mention that it's actually drizzling. The conditions as well,
Yeah.
very tricky now for the players.
Chippa United, the last time that they got 9 points from any 4-game run on the road, which is a possibility tonight if they were to win, considering they come into this one 2 wins from their last 3 on the road. It was all the way back in the 2019-20 season that COVID disrupted campaign, although before COVID hit, to be fair. And it would be quite a feat. And it would suggest then that under Thabo September they are starting to turn around their away form. They were hamstrung by it at the beginning of this campaign. Chippa United side that are still just trying to escape that mid-table melee.
I don't think at the back of their minds they're still thinking about the days when they used to get relegated and bounce back. No. I don't think you're going to get there. If you're Richards Bay, of course, you want to always be the pride of KZN.
Chippa United this season have had a good record against sides languishing near the bottom, which is the case for Richards Bay, despite a recent turnaround in fortune. It's coincided, though, with a recent change in fortune for the likes of Magesi as well, so it's not as noticeable, the good results they've been putting together, as they do get forward well here. There are numbers.
Are you talking about Magesi that beat Super Sport?
Yeah, indeed. Great result for them.
Kevin Hunt's not happy at all. Coltrane Munya is not taking phone calls. But it's the beauty of the Betway Premiership, full of surprises.
Well, Richards Bay would go level on points with Supersport United, but above them on goal difference if they manage to do for the first time tonight. They've never done before. Beat Chippa United. They played 5, lost 5 against Mamelodi Sundowns. That's the only side in the top flight that they have a worse record against than Chippa United. As they have in the past put up some very gallant displays against some of the other big clubs, and the Pirates in particular springs to mind. Although they have suffered 2 defeats then this season, but my word, they were close.
All I can say is that this Betway Premiership for this particular season, it's going to be the most exciting, full of surprises.
Well, you say that, then again, it looks very familiar at the top with Mamelodi Sundowns 18 points clear.
I saw one of the best goals scored this afternoon.
Indeed. Yep.
One of the best in terms of thinking, sharpness of execution as well.
Yeah, Lucas Ribeiro hitting half a dozen for the season with an absolute cracker that he set himself up for. Smashing it in on the half volley. That's the goal that ended up being the winner.
And these two teams need to entertain us more. We've seen the potential to get the ball into the box. But hey, I'm struggling to pronounce 0-0.
Yeah. Yet to be a goalless draw this weekend. Richards Bay look to make the most of this corner. Thrashed back in by Mthembu. And then it was Zikali on the follow-up from just outside the area, and another long-range effort that crashes into bodies. Well, it's been wins across the board for the home teams today in the Betway Premiership. And it's been only wins. There's a draw last night between Stellenbosch and Polokwane City, and then Magesi, home team, win over SuperSport United. Mamelodi Sundowns, the same over Kaizer Chiefs, both of those 1-0 results. Hosts TS Galaxy and Marumo Gallants, 2-0 over Golden Arrows and Orlando Pirates respectively. So it's been a day for the hosts, encouraging for Chippa United, or rather for Richards Bay.
Last performance of the day. That responsibility on the two teams. And it can't be 0-0. No. We're allowed to make a bit of demands, right?
Indeed. Even if you include their playoff games and their cup game, that's 8 matches. 8 times they've crossed paths where it's never been 0-0.
Someone has just sent a message to the players. We have expectations.
Chippa United with a free kick. They've picked up 6 points from possible 9 against KZN teams this season. That's only a win over Richards Bay. Also over Lamont Golden Arrows. They have lost though to Amazulu as Salim Magula makes the intervention.
Yeah, he gets the protection, of course, from the referee. And that sort of zone where as he comes up, it would seem that he was impeded. That's when the protection kicks in from the referee.
No, before the whistle had gone, yes, he's impeded by Malawa, and then his centre-half partner, Lesotho international Makele, following up, and he makes a save. So he had no idea that the foul was going to be called. Continued to do his job. Perhaps gets a little lucky there with his goal kick. Does Magula. What do you say to Baloni? Again, causing a few problems. Richards Bay, but Nasser Marman couldn't free Kwaiba.
There's a bit of a change in terms of approach for Richards Bay. I mean, I'm comparing them to the previous coaches that they've had. Their strength has always been to sit back a whole lot of times and rely on the counter-attacks. They're a team now that goes forward and add numbers forward. It's completely different. Under Brendan Tuta, it was more structure in terms of defense first, but they're more adventurous in going forward now. Is that the older age of saying attack is the best form of defense?
I think he had just straight.
Risky though.
Yeah.
It's well synchronized now, but you got to have that, because one of your teammates, if they don't get it right, you're likely to get punished. looks good when it comes out as offside.
Oh, barraging run here from Tlakusani Mtetwa. Figueiredo can't utilize his pace to particularly good effect on the flank. Maningwane doing a decent job. In for injured Sian Ndlovu today. The youngster, Maningwane. That's Kwaiba. En route out.
How good is the Africans? A little bit.
So yeah.
So you're talking about Cian, and
Yeah.
then there's Boy as well, which is the
But did you hear me in the I did say
okay.
prior to the match that Boy is replacing Sian.
Cian. I see.
I think you were preoccupied with your formation. I was hoping for a little wink from you, a little acknowledgement to say, "Oh, nicely done."
You deserve the best for that. That's why it's coming out now. I had to. Needed to wait for the right moment, Grant. Come on.
It is rather bizarre, though, for the one to replace the
Yeah.
other in successive matches.
Boy replaces Cian.
There's Keegan Allen, linking up with his centre-half partner. Neka moving it out to Ndaba. Forward a little aimlessly. Makele cleans up. Still Richards Bay struggling to get Matupu on the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting you're talking about the Richards Bay players struggling to find Matupu.
Yeah.
And I've always said that players, teammates should have a conversation amongst themselves in terms of their preferences. If I get into the box, this is how you should pass me the ball. I prefer it to be passed this way.
The big moment here, Brian. Ronaldo Marman, who starts for the first time since May. Remember, he had an operation earlier this season. He's run his race, and on in his place comes the Zambian forward, Enoch Sakala, man that they signed in January. He's just 22 years of age, but he is a big physical presence who played for Zesco United previously. It'll be interesting to see what he is capable of bringing to this game. Bienvenu Evenga subbed at half-time because he wasn't making all that much of an impact. Was Evenga, who scored against every KZN team except Richards Bay, and that doesn't change today. But I guess now they've been, in a sense, reinstated to their original formation and format, with the big man up front again.
When you are the big man, you are supposed, you are expected to lead from the front. But at the same time, there's expectations to say you need to find me. The quality of passing has got to be precise.
Mohlame can't get his cross past Modise, goes on to win it. Matosi keeps it alive. Baloni for Sergio Camis. Spotting some movement from Philander. Philander's ball in, not the best. Richards Bay win a free kick in the centre circle. Zikali down.
Yeah, when the positioning is not right, that's Balon committing the foul.
Now Motlame lifts it in. Chippa United deal with it. Matrosi coming clear with the ball. Lifts his head, looks for options. Kwayiba can't complete the return. Maloni, Makele, Kwayiba. He, along with Eva and Guy, and surprisingly Andile Jali, the only Chippa players this season to have more than a single goal. A little bit of the pace taken off that cross and deflects into the clutches of Magula. And so perhaps that 25th Richards Bay clean sheet in the top flight is very much on the cards for Salim Magula. Another 25 minutes or so remaining here at the Kingsville Latini Stadium. As I get another look at that rather robust challenge from Modise. Motlame has been closely monitored over the course of this game. He is a man in form. Vaneka. David to Figueiredo. Richards Bay have taken the ball quickly. And into the shins of Ndaba behind for a goal kick.
A bit of engagement for Matufu. They're trying to find him somehow in the front line.
They've seen fit here to make a change, and indeed it is Motlame making way with Ngema on. So an opportunity for Wandile Ngema to make an impact in this match. And he's afforded a fair amount of time to do so as well. Just the one appearance prior to this for Richards Bay off the bench in that win over Polokwane City at the beginning of last month. Forward by Allen. Cut out in the air. Well, it was from about the midway point of the first half that things really started to heat up. So we're about at that very same stage in the second period now. I would say a second half that up to this point hasn't matched what we saw in the closing stages of the first half.
Yeah, both teams have played in patches, and I think it's more like let's not concede as opposed to let's score more goals. It's more caution as opposed to taking calculated risks going forward.
Drilled across field to find Figueiredo. That ball will be kept alive on the left-hand flank. 3 in blue inside the 18-yard area. Gamma. Can't quite flick it through, Abba, in the way he intended.
Well, since Ngema has come on, Figueiredo has gone on to the left-hand side, which I think for me is that's his strength. He's right-footed. He always wants to cut inside. His ability to take long-range shots that create possibilities for Richards Bay.
So we're seeing the introduction of a couple of players. Let's confirm who's coming out. Spelo Baloni and Sinoto Kwaiba. On comes Ayabulela Konkobe, who has played a lot of football for Chippa United this season, and then a man who is getting his first taste of action, Asanele Bunani. First opportunity for him this campaign. Off the ball incident spotted by the referee.
And as much as there has been, opportunities, not too many created, but in terms of the flow of the game, there's been so many stop starts that we've seen, and actually affects the rhythm. Hasn't been free flowing. Not too sure if this has got to do with the conditions as well.
Hoisted forward, easy pickings for Nwabali. Not the kind of ball that anyone could really challenge for. Not the most effective kick out of hand from Nwabali. It's been immediately recovered here by Richards Bay. Tetra gets it out wide to Naba. Miscommunication there. Chippa United just about recover.
The chairman of the Goalkeepers Association, William Shongo, will tell you that that kind of distribution is very risky because you're just kicking it high. It's not aimed at anybody. It just becomes everyone's ball when you play it that high. It just hangs there. In these days, of course, we've seen goalkeepers contributing to creating goals in terms of counter-attack. So distribution is essential from a goalkeeping perspective.
Curled in, and evasive action taken as Richards Bay gets a second corner in succession.
Are they going to go near post, or is going to be a varied one? Makupu on the far side, is he going to go near post? That seems to be cluttered.
Again towards the back post. At least that was the attempt, but Wabali too powerful in the air. And he's quickly bowled it out here to Murise. Mulawa. Wabali. Bunani, the DDC graduate from Motherwell, quickly laid it off to the flank where Philander can't make much of it. Nani again, Konkobe, two subs combining.
Yeah, both teams are pretty comfortable just to rotate the ball. There's no variation in terms of the tempo. There and there, they'll attempt to do something.
Konkobe, Kamis. He'd already assessed the situation and knew the option of Philander was there. He misplaces his pass again, does Philander. Now he has another opportunity for a decent delivery, loses out. Mankmupu. Back with Chippa United. Bonani. Dispossessed, a man who made his debut in the Nedbank Cup last season and his Premiership debut in the final game of the season. Gema. Oh, comes inside Malawa brilliantly. Tamang Malawa, who will turn 25 in 2 weeks, goes into the referee's book.
And he felt embarrassed. Bypassed pretty easily, good skill. You don't teach those. He dived.
So, Bomelo, who has scored 2 goals this season, did so in successive matches. Win over Marimo Gallants, where Nele Mbutumba was sent off, and then in the 2-0 victory over Puluwani City, the young man gets just under a quarter of an hour to try and affect this game as he comes on for Malisi Matmupu, man who was making his first start in over a year. That's not one to remember for Matmupu.
At times when he was at Cosmos, he was very lethal. They understood how to find him. Struggled. There were points as well at Royal AM where he was scoring goals, but
And then other points, yeah.
where they struggled to utilize him effectively.
Tembu's ball forward is repelled. Well, Matmupu's last goal came in December of 2023. In fact, he got a brace against Richards Bay as Figueiredo's effort flies over.
Playing in a role which I think he's much more comfortable with, being right-footed. He always enjoys cutting inside, just needs to improve in terms of hitting the target.
Well, it's moments like that that contribute towards Richards Bay having the lowest conversion rates in the division. That will drop after today unless they can score. Came into this match at 5.5 as Ronnie Gabriel and Papi Sotwani watch on. 5.5% of all their shots end in goals. And that one straight down the throat of Mwabali, early sighter. since coming on for Pomelo.
Easily dealt with, but I like the combination and the mindset to get it on target. That looks too easy for him.
An aerial duel that everyone escaped unscathed from as Chippa United gather possession. Konkmove, Kamis brings it under his spell, pass ever so slightly behind him. Pomelo laying it back as he waits for reinforcements to arrive. Here's Ngema. Teto, another combative yet tidy display in the center of the park for Tlakusani Mtetwa.
He grabs so much. He's one of those silent heroes. He wins the ball so much, covers so much.
Konkmove measuring his ball forward, intercepted well. It's looking promising for Richards Bay. And Pomelo lets it run when I think the pass might have been intended for him, but it wasn't the neatest from Figueiredo. Keegan Allen winning that particular battle.
His maturity is amazing. Yeah. Keegan Allen didn't commit any tackle, just composed himself, won it clean.
Yeah, won it without actually making the tackle. He just
a lot of times you don't have to as a centre back.
In terms of his tackles, though, he has been 100% 3 for 3 in this match, Keegan Allen. Lovely feet from Pomelo, works the space to shoot. All the power taken off it by the deflection.
Well set up for himself, of course he takes a deflection.
Great atmosphere here at the Kings Zalotini Stadium. Richards Bay supporters know what a win would do to enhance their log position. Amazulu will be in action tomorrow. They're here taking on Cape Town City. Amazulu have a terrific record against the Citizens.
Do you think Villagas is watching? Coach Villa?
Perhaps.
He's a footballer. Of course. If you're in football, you're watching. That's his former team.
Kobe calling for it, getting it. Manani receives again. He's been busy since coming on. one of the more promising players. It's come through their reserve ranks in recent times. Sergio Kamis lays it off for Philander. Matros. Concave. Good cross in. Richards Bay get it clear through Figueiredo. And play brought back for an incident just moments before. Double September still barking out instructions. Still an opportunity for either of these teams to snatch it.
Good centre back in his playing days. September.
Yeah, and as we celebrate Gavin Hunt's 1000, Double September, of course, instrumental during the best spell of Gavin Hunt's career.
Yeah.
So, they will make a fifth and final change here. Kozo. There's the man coming on who has previously influenced meetings between Richards Bay and Chippa United. Richards Bay's first season in the top flight. The first time they hosted Chippa United, they had a 2-goal lead. At halftime it was 2-1, and then in the second half, a double in the space of about 7 or so minutes from Kozo was what won Chippa the game. 3-2 the score. So not unaccustomed to scoring against this particular opponent. The lightning strike twice. What's probably most interesting about those 2 goals scored by the most recent introduction to this game is that those were his only 2 goals that season, 2022-23. And he has yet to score a top-flight goal since. Those were his first 2, and currently his only 2. But a good player to bring on in these closing stages. We have under 5 minutes to go. Oh. Directed well off target. In fact, the situation almost came alive again for Chippa United. They do have it in a deep space here. Magula will come for it, confidently claims. Goal mistake that they might profit from. What is the referee rule here? Free kick. Big opportunity for Richards Bay. And a yellow card for Moy Maningwana. Took one for the team, I think, is an apt description of that.
Yeah, I think both of them somehow got embarrassed. You know, good skill. Sneaks in between 2 players, end up being fouled.
Only the second start of the season, 6th appearance overall for young boy Maningwana. And his last start came all the way at the beginning of the season, that 1-1 draw against Kakuni United.
Could this be a magical moment?
Could it be?
We're waiting.
Oh, we've already seen Figueiredo crack on into the wall. It is Figueiredo again. Takes a wicked deflection, but it's a deflection that sends it away from goal, mercifully, for Stanley Nwabali. Will be a corner, though.
The territory of Keegan Allen. Has scored before by a header.
Another corner successfully repelled. And well left by Nwabali. I was saying though, Brian, the chances of a direct free kick flying in, very slim. Only 5 scored this season. Only 4 different teams have actually scored from direct free kicks, because the Orlando Pirates have 2. I would say today, perhaps the best opportunity might have been from a corner, of which there have been a dozen over the course of this match, 12 in total. But both sides have goalkeepers who are fairly competent under the high ball. That has proven to be the case. Into 5 minutes of additional time here. Sikali laying it off. Now the bright and nippy players that both sides have brought on have the potential to make for a very exciting finish here as Figueiredo feeds Ngema.
It's frustrating, I'm sure, for the coaches in terms of you know, the shots on target and clear-cut chances created.
Mulawa, Makele. Strong header clear from Tlakusani Mtetwa. He's had an outstanding game. It's a good ball for Figueiredo, though it was intended for Mtembu. It eventually ends up at his feet.
His first time Figueiredo wasn't the best because he just took the ball out of the danger situation. It's all about decision making.
Kobe does brilliantly. His pass is a little too strong. That's with Modise. Matros. Punch clear by Magula.
Tricky ball, more of this. They could profit from it. Of course, they don't have time on their side.
They will look to exploit their long throw for perhaps one last time with about a minute remaining. Modise hangs it up But once again, easy pickings for the goalkeeper, who's quick to find an outlet. Pomelo held his run, and then players held up by a far too relaxed pass in that situation. Matrosi. Unani was making tracks, trying to get in behind, but Matrosi didn't release the ball. Running one with a successful clearance. Now they have no obligation to play it out, despite a Chippa player down at the moment. And Modise now will hack it into touch.
What happened there? Not his shoulder. You're not too sure sometimes to find a player only want his shoulder, only to say my ankle. Is there something wrong with my ankle? So it's not easy to diagnose that. See, he's stepping on his toes. And again, as he fell, could have affected the shoulder, but seems to be soldiering. He's up on his feet.
Well, there were mere seconds remaining before this stoppage. And I doubt once play restarts will go for very much longer.
Yeah, something to do with the dislocated shoulder. You're not dislocated, sprain it a little bit. You know more about those.
Unfortunately, yeah.
You're a strong man, you've recovered.
Time almost up here. Momelo competing for it. And there is the final whistle. For the first time in the Betway Premiership this weekend, no goals. A goalless draw. And for the first time indeed in this tie, the 6th time that they're meeting in the Premiership, the 9th time they're meeting overall, and it is the first goalless draw as things get a little testy out there. Figueiredo, Kamis, Modise, all involved. Stanley Nwabali trying to play peacemaker. Well, Brian, certainly at the end of the first half, we were thinking things are heating up here, but the second, I think, maybe just fizzled out a little, and in the end, would you say is a fair reflection of the game?
Well, I think it is. I think there's more caution as opposed to taking risks, and I think sometimes you've got to be able to gamble, understanding the pressure both teams to try and consolidate the positions that they're in. There will be that kind of caution. At some point you're going to lose possession, you're not going to be that clinical, but I'm sure both teams will be happy with a point each, and will they move on.
Now for Richards Bay, the unbeaten streak continues. 5 games in a row without defeat for the first time since the first half of their debut season. But they still find themselves